What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OceanBlock 2. Last time I did a little bit of expanding the island and creating a farm, and so far that farm has grown a whole lot, but the island still looks really janky a bit, you know? I guess I'm calling it an island. It's not really an island, it's more like a raft, but yeah, the raft looks kind of silly. It does not look complete, and also it doesn't look like something that would float. I don't think that'll change this episode, but we'll definitely develop it a bit more. Other things that are going on today is I really want to move my sluices and everything, and also I'm getting really sick of feeding them water manually, so I think a pump would be rather ideal. But also, as I mentioned a while ago, I love Ars Nouveau, and I want a spell book. Unfortunately, I don't have any leather, so crafting a book is going to be interesting. I will say you're going to notice a lot during this video that I change which thing that I'm actively doing a whole lot, so ignore the fact that I'm doing everything and also nothing, I suppose. We'll see where it ends up. So last time I played in this world, I tried to get a good little farming area set up, but also I didn't end up making it, pretty or anything like that, but I made it functional, and that works for me. Now, I do want to eventually make this farming area look a little bit better, so I will need to add some dirt in and add spruce framing around it and whatnot, and I think I want to expand it a bit, so I'll do that now. I need more dirt though, so I guess I need to smash up some more cobblestone. Sort of living out of this little lifeboat thing here. I need way more space. Like, the storage in this is just inadequate, and that is part of the reason why I want to expand my little raft here. However, I do want to have some simple storage outside of this little farm area and separate it by, finished foods that I could eat now versus, seeds and whatnot that I will need to do something for. It's also super odd to me holding a second tool in my offhand. Witness the most ridiculous way to grow a plant. My sticky keys so mad at me. But let's make some more dirt. I'm really glad that you can compress various things like compressed cobblestone and whatnot so that I don't have to manually break by hand 4 billion blocks, even compressed gravel. And then I could just bonk it, whole bunch of stacks of dirt. So let's expand this area too, because I think that it would be smart to have a larger sugarcane farm. That way, when I want to start enchanting, if I want to start enchanting at some point, I have the sugarcane to make it happen. Also, I could use this area for growing trees and whatnot. Gotta say, I actually really like the framing going around the little farm areas. I think it looks pretty good so far. So let's put a frame on this other side too. I will say, surprisingly, for this being the middle of the ocean, I feel like I'm not struggling to find food, and I am glad that that is the case, because if it wasn't, that would be so problematic. But let's expand the farmland just a little bit more, frame it out, and then I can figure out what I want it to plant in all that extra space. Hoe all of it down. Why won't that one? Okay, never mind. I don't know. That little dirt right there just tried to confuse me. Oh, yeah, right. I did put dirt down. Let's go get this airdrop. Let's see. What treats do you have for me today? Industrial light, a glyph. I believe that's conjure mage light, which isn't super useful. Makes you addicted. What did you give? Oh, coffee. Fair enough, I guess. And that looks like a glyph of fell, but also there's amphibian boots and roller skates. Huh. I'll have to try those out. I hope that the amphibian boots makes it so I swim faster. Oh wow, these roller skates are kind of ridiculous. It's like walking around on ice, which I will say is pretty fun, but I'm pretty sure I would slip and slide off of everything all the time. Oh my gosh, if I had the Frostwalker enchantment, that would be absolutely broken. Let's see if this makes me swim faster. Oh yeah, that definitely makes me swim a bit faster, but only if I stay swimming. I feel like this is a bit ridiculous, but I am actually excited to have grass on my island. That way it's not just dirt. So I figured out that if I make a knife and a cutting board from Farmer's Delight, I could, I guess, sort of shave this bamboo here and get straw, which I could use to make a book. It makes canvas, and then the canvas acts as leather. Part of the reason why I'm so excited about Ars Nouveau, though, is I've played with Ars Nouveau in the past, and if I get a good healing spell and a good attack spell, I end up insanely powerful. I had this thing called the murder spell on a server that I owned a little while ago, and that murder spell was so broken. Also, the heal spells that I had were very powerful, so like, nothing could kill me. If I just had that and a totem in my offhand, nothing was going to kill me. And I figure maybe it seems like there might be something hidden down in the depths that might be difficult. I could fly. And the reason I could fly was that Ars Nouveau book. I would love to be able to fly. That seems like it would be very convenient. But I have an idea for this sugarcane farm where if I cut out stripes in this and fill it with water and then put a slab down, I could make it so the sugarcane, when you harvest it, won't end up falling into the ocean. So that's what I'm setting up here. I don't really have a ton of sugarcane yet, but that can change. I mean, the shift to grow plants mechanic is pretty dang broken. So I expect that, like, as far as plants, I will probably have as much of every plant material that I could possibly need outside of mystical agriculture, because those don't have the shift to grow mechanic applied to them for some reason, probably because it would make getting certain resources way too easy. But let's fill this in with some slabs and grow the sugarcane farm up. See, and just like that, I have more than enough sugarcane to make as much paper as I could possibly need. However, I'm also at this point struggling to store anything. I need to build a little chest area. Even if it's only temporary, it still would be better than trying to store anything in that little life raft. So I figured I could make some compacting drawers to put like the little stones that I get from the water strainers. Man, even now with my somewhat expanded island, I feel like it's still too small. So let's make it even wider. And I think that this part that I'm working on here will probably be like the main area of my little raft, but who knows? And look, the grass is fully grown, so now I can actually use some of this bone meal. But let's make a compacting drawer and we'll see if it works. I want to make one that is the framed version so I can make it look however I want. I'll put it a little bit away from my other chests, and I tested it. It works very well. But also, you know what I need right now? A backpack. My inventory is so ridiculously full of items. This is the issue with modded, like you kind of need a backpack mod to do anything, or else you are just going to have no space in your inventory at every moment. So looking at the JEI, I realized that I could make a leather with tough fabric, which I get from industrial hemp, and honey, which I can make in a cooking pot from Farmer's Delight. Also, admire my lovely countertop I got going on here. This is the worst kitchen. It's giving Hell's Kitchen, but like hell. I promise you that this island, this little raft I got going on here, and this kitchen will get better. In this episode, no, but it will. I promise. But let's get some sugarcane, and yeah, this actually works perfect. The little slab thing that I did earlier, it works like a charm. So I can turn the sugarcane into honey just by cooking the sugar from the sugarcane, although I'll need to make some glass bottles. So let's make a little bit of that and see if I can get just a few pieces of leather for now, because my inventory space is so low and it is making things difficult. Alright, got the honey. Also, examine. I have a singular industrial hemp, so this is what I am doing to grow it. This is the worst. I really need to make another sluice. I figure why not upgrade it to an iron sluice? That way I don't have to put items into it by hand. I can use a pump and a hopper with it. So let's make one of these things take gravel and make the other one take dirt so I can have plants and whatnot. Heck yeah, so I have a little bit of fabric here. I also figure I need to move my tempered glass jar out here. But yeah, this is what I meant earlier when I said that I would put the pebbles in and it would make like the stone. I could put the diorite pebbles in and it would make diorite. I figure I'll make one drawer for each of the stone types. Oh my gosh. Trees everywhere. I need to make some sort of chest just for saplings and whatnot. There are a shocking number of tree saplings in the water on this planet for there to be no land. while making tough fabric like this is still very slow, it's better than it was earlier. So it's not perfect, but it'll do. And hopefully I can make some leather with it. Oh, interesting. I have not really thought about this until this moment, but it told me at the very beginning that I need a slime ball and some copper wire to fix my comm link. I think I could make that happen. I got some copper wires, I think last episode, and I have some slime goo. I don't know where I got it from, but there we go. Fix shipped. Oh, and it gives me a mini map. That's convenient. I can see all sorts of things on the map now. How is the Shadow Beast still alive? Didn't I kill him? Anyways, I think I have all of the materials needed to make a backpack. Achieved. Heck yeah, and I'll just immediately upgrade it to iron, that way I can store some more stuff in it. But after that, I figure if I want to upgrade it to gold, I'll need to change up my sluice. So I can see that I can make a diamond and a netherite sluice. So I figured out that I can make actual full diamonds instead of like little diamond chunks if I get a blazing mesh. But getting blaze rods at the moment seems kind of difficult. And this simulation chamber thing seems super complicated, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get into that right now. I think I need to put a chest above this hopper. Oh man, I still haven't made a pump. I need to make 2 pumps for my 2 sluice. Okay, how do you... Oh, it's spinning. How do I... Time left. Okay, so apparently I need to wind this up. Can I do that by hand? I really hope that that's not as bad. Hopefully I won't have to wind these super often. I'm not sure if there's a limit to how far I can wind them up, but I will say if I could just like sit here and wind them up for 10 minutes, I would. Looks like next on the list of progression from the quest book is some sort of forge. Step 1 is making fire bricks, but thankfully I have a jumbo furnace. Please smelt this at the speed of light. There, jumbo furnace. They have smelted down, and now I can check that one off of the quest book. It looks like apparently this mod doesn't really do tools. I think that I'm misremembering Tinker's Construct. Ooh, another airdrop. Let's see. Do you have treats for me? Some ore, a laser node. I don't know what that does. Ooh, a diamond stick. All right. Who packed that? Mr. Key? What do these laser nodes do? Okay, that seems complicated, but also not. I don't know, but I'm gonna make a gold mesh and see what happens when I swap that one out. Do you make different stuff with the gold mesh? I assume so. I bet it makes a better quality of materials. So one of the next things that the guidebook tells me about is making redstone, and I can use that redstone to make a jar automator, which please, that way I wouldn't have to manually click mix and have it make 1 ingot at a time. I could just stick like the materials to make an ingot in there, and it will do the thing without me having to tell it. And it seems like the jar automator is, a little expensive to make, but it's not that bad. So there we go, jar automator. So upgrading to the gold mesh has been useful because it gave me a diamond chunk. After waiting a little bit, I got some more diamond chunks, and I can apparently smelt that in the jar into a diamond. So we're 1 step closer to the diamond sluice. And for some reason, it decided that a worthy reward are these leather boots. I have never been more rich than in this moment. There's also a little thing here talking about mystical agriculture and passive mobs, so I think I'll probably explore that at some point, but for now, I have the iron to make the spellbook, and I want that spellbook. So let's craft that one up. Still took a ton of iron, but I'll survive. Let's pop all these tools in, and then I can get to casting spells. Heck yeah. You know, I just realized something. Just because you have the spell book does not mean that you know the spells. I don't know really all that many spells in the spell book, because you do have to unlock like the glyphs first before you can make like a full spell that you can cast. I remember what spells I used. However, I don't have any of them unlocked. So unfortunately, we'll have to either craft those or find them in chests. It's like the game heard me saying that I don't have any glyphs, and it went, here's some Ars Nouveau stuff. Hope you need Windfall for taking down flying living creatures, I think, which I don't have. Still interesting. Anyways, this is exactly the moment where the round and round and round and round started. In order to get diamonds, I need steel. In order to get steel, I need so many things. It says I can use item casting with the casting table for that foundry that I was working on earlier. So let's focus back on trying to make that foundry. So I watched the little tutorial it gave me here on how to do it. I have all these fire bricks. So let's start a little foundry. In order to make a foundry though, I don't just need the fire bricks, I also need taps and drains and the controller and the tank and also some heating coils. So let's craft all of those up, which will take me a second. Thankfully, I have a whole bunch of these fire bricks. I'm sort of wondering if this is in fact superior to the jumbo furnace, but I kind of get the impression that maybe they just do different things. But while I'm at it, I suppose I will also make like a tap and the casting table and a casting basin and whatnot, just so it's all ready for when I go to make this foundry. I also need to make ingot casts and rod casts and gear casts and nugget casts, and there's a whole lot, which apparently those need cast iron. But in a second, I need to make some sort of area for this foundry to even exist in. So let's finish up the framing on this glass area, and I guess I will make a little adjacent platform. I can put the foundry on that area so it's a little out of the way. Oh, and I'm running into my water strainers. Oh man, I wonder if that'll block the water going in through the pumps, or if it'll just pull water from the bottom. Anyways, I figure this little foundry thing doesn't need a ridiculous amount of space, so I will just make like a little platform, and I can see that there's like all the warden endermen with their pet fish all spawning around down there. Hopefully I'm safe. Hopefully I'm not gonna get attacked while doing this. That'd be a little inconvenient. Alright, and now let's fill this in with glass, and then I can start building the foundry on top of it. And there we go. So it does this convenient thing where it shows me an invisible outline of the structure that I need to build. Although, once I actually fill in the blocks, it is not very easy to tell if I have the right thing in the right place, or even if I have filled in a block at all. So this is gonna take me just a second to figure out. But also, I think I discovered in building this that the way they built it is not the best way. So I guess I made a way that is a bit more tailored to me. I'll need to put the drains on the bottom and the casting basin, casting table and whatnot. I'll also need to put in a foundry tank and a controller, which should allow me to put things into the foundry. And I'll need to put in, of course, the foundry drain so I can actually pull ore and whatnot out of it. I do find it a little strange that it doesn't actually require this structure to have corners. So I discovered something terrible, and that is if you burn yourself on the foundry, you will accidentally fill your foundry with meat. I unintentionally started a meat ingot, and the only way to get it off of my casting table is either to fill the ingot fully or to break the casting table. Sure enough, I can make a meat ingot, and I can eat it. And apparently, it's not worth it. Anyways, y'all, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching me try to make a foundry and make some progress in this world. The raft is still not done or beautiful, and my kitchen is a nightmare. More episodes will definitely be coming in the future. However, if you're looking for something to go watch now, check out my Forever World series. If you got to this point in the video, thank you so much, and I shall catch you guys later. See ya!